What's up, guys? Today I'll be giving you some tips and tricks with the Wiral. What is up, guys? Today we're at Sky Park. It is my second to last day here, so I thought I'd film a YouTube video. If Brad's watching this, no, this is my 10-minute break. I'm not on the clock. I'm here with Lance. We're just going to set up the Wiral, and I'm just going to talk about some things I've learned about it. And yeah, so the Wiral has three parts. You've got this strap that goes around a tree, and you can tighten it so it's extra taut. You've got the wire, and it's also a reel. And then you've got the actual physical piece, which opens up to look like this. Camera goes on the bottom. So something really important is that when you set up your anchor points, you need to set them up higher than you think, because your camera's gonna droop. So we got one set up on that tree, and the other one is set up on this tree. And the reason we're doing this is because we are filming not with a GoPro or an Insta360 like they recommend, but we are filming with a Blackmagic 6K Pro with the Sigma 2.8 18-35. Very heavy setup, but when you're in the forest like this, you need this dynamic range to actually get a usable image. So you're gonna wanna attach your wire from your anchor point to your tightening anchor point, hook it in right there, and then you pull this strap to tighten it. I cannot understate the importance of getting the line tight. It's important for stability. It's important so you don't have any drooping in the line. You just gotta do it. I went and got a stool so I could stand up here and tighten it. A lot of people, if they're doing a cable cam, it's normally a bigger cable cam and it can hold a stabilizer on it, and then you can control the motion of the camera or whatever. But if you really need a cheap option and you need to set it up quickly, this isn't that bad. You just gotta realize you're only gonna be able to face the camera in one direction. This thing is meant for GoPros or small cameras. When you're putting a heavier camera like a Blackmagic, you have to realize the motor is meant for a GoPro. So keeping your line approximately level is pretty important. Too much of an incline, you're not gonna be able to actually drive it one of the directions. So the attachment process is pretty simple. There's a pin on top that you pull, and then you put the wire through, and boom, you're on. You just put these little gear things on top and you're good. But to show you how much it actually droops, this is at level, and that's how far it went down. Hopefully we're still clear of obstacles, but we will see. Okay, so the Wiral actually comes with these little stoppers too. So we're gonna install it on the line, and this just gives a little bit of extra resistance before your anchor point. You don't want the camera to impact directly. It might slow it down if you accidentally go too fast. Okay, so the connection process, really easy. You turn this guy on, hold it down, boom, you hear a beep. You turn this guy on with the mode button, and that's it. I think it's connected. Try it out. Yep, we're running. So the main thing when you're using a camera that's not meant for the Wiral, it's heavier, so it wiggles more, and then it droops more. So you gotta make sure that the line is tight. That helps with both wiggling and drooping. And when you're shooting, you don't want to quickly stop and then go again, because then your camera's gonna be swaying. This will not be perfectly stabilized. Know that you will have to stabilize this in post with a little bit of warp stabilizer or equivalent. Basically, run it with whatever motion you're gonna capture as many times as you can. Find the best one, stabilize it, see if it works. The best way to check to see if you're set up correctly, because you can't control where the camera is being pointed after you're already set up, I would just record it with no one there and make an adjustment, and then do that until you're good. Because it is a heavy camera and you're on a line, the line droops more in the middle. So think of your camera like this. It's starting flat if you've set it up flat. Once it gets to the center, it's gonna be tilted down. And then as it gets to the end, it's gonna be tilted up. So just think about that and account for it when you're setting it up. When you are shooting, you want the person with the control to kind of be in a center point so they can know where the edges are more accurately. And you can definitely do this by yourself, but I would recommend two people, someone to start and stop the camera on the end, and then the person with the remote in the middle, kind of judging where the camera is actually going. I want to talk about something else, and the fact that the Wiral is almost pointless if you own a drone. So the Wiral is like $300, I want to say, and it's absolutely pointless if you have a drone, unless you're doing very specific shots, such as this. We're going really close to trees, trying to track a subject. You can't really do that with a drone, because most of the time the DJI drones that you can get for around $1,000, they're gonna have issues going through trees, basically. So that's what I see this being useful for. Anything where you're gonna get close to an object that you're going by, or if you want really, really like consistent repeated movements. Yeah, so again, it's cheaper than a drone, but it's much more limited, and a drone can do most of the things that it can do. That being said, it's pretty fun. And you can put a Blackmagic on it, which is pretty cool. So the Wiral has 3 speeds. It's got a time-lapse speed, a medium or normal speed, and then it's got like sport mode. Sport mode, yeah, go ahead and show the sport mode. Yeah, that's way too fast. That's terrifying. That's how you break a camera. Obviously, if you get good at it, I would recommend using it. It's gonna have more dramatic effects. And then the time-lapse mode is kind of what it's for. It's incredibly slow, which is a good tool if you're doing time-lapse. And then regular mode, it feels a little bit too slow to me. I wish it kind of went a more medium speed.
A little more.
But it still works pretty good. So Lance is actually new to using the Wiral, and we're just kind of trying to show him how to do it. But basically, you just have to run it a few times trying to track a subject, and then you get used to the controls. They're a little bit finicky, but it's not too bad. It's a pretty easy pickup. So we just talked to the Zip operator, and they're taking an hour break right after we finish setting up. So Lance is setting the shot to be a little bit different. I'll show you what we're going for. Here at Sky Park, this is a multi-use trail, so we get families walking on it, hiking, and bikes. We're hoping to catch maybe a bike leisurely going out of the forest. It's kind of a cool shot, and we can do that to practice while we're waiting for the zip line. So we're gonna do a practice run. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Where is it? You can't even see it.
I was like, oh,
look at that.
I gotta go.
Look at that dumbass vlogging.
I know, right?
Looks so stupid. See, that still looks cool though.
Yeah. It'd be a cool like horror movie shot, like someone
like running down a hallway and then you do like the dollies. Yeah, that'd be cool. Another thing I thought of for the limitations, no matter how good you are at controlling this wire cam, it's gonna be you're gonna want to do it on something that's repetitive, because it's fucking difficult to get right in the first try. Yeah, it like looks goofy until once you hit a consistent pace, and then it starts looking really cool. And if you can see, you can get a lot closer than you could with a drone. It's a lot quieter too. It's another benefit. So to wrap up my thoughts about the Wiral, I would say it is a good option if you are shooting in a dense area where you can't get a drone, or you don't have a drone, or you're shooting a specifically repetitive spot where it is more convenient to set up a line that you can just run a camera back and forth. From our experience using this setup, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Pro 4K or whatever the heck, or 6K, with the Sigma 18 to 35, it's not bad. I'd say it's just about as stable, if you're cautious, as a GoPro, and the amount of dynamic range it gives you so much more of a useful shot than if you're using a GoPro or you're using a 360 cam. Basically, if those sound like you, yeah, sure, get it. It's like $250. It's not that expensive. It's a great tool if you can use it. If you could easily do the things you want to do with it with a drone, I would suggest investing in that, because that gives you so many more options. But yeah, here is some of the footage we got and an edit I made with a couple mountain bike shots. Peace, bye forever. I love that they saw it. That's so funny.
Yeah.
But look at that. Yeah, that's like,
Oh yeah.
that's perfect pace. You could even do a speed ramp into a slowdown. Let's see if we caught him on the turn. I think specifically because it was a group of 3, it was pretty good. Yeah. Okay, and one more thing. I want to shout out to Sky Park. It's been a blast working here. I want to say thank you to the whole marketing team. Woo, a little bittersweet. If you like mountain biking, go check them out. All right, now bye forever.